as is often the case, I did this whole thing and I found myself just fucking babbling. I was trying to talk about bum runk, sign bum funk. And then I was just fucking babbling the whole time. It's really good, and see, because like Jet Set Radio Future, it's really good, and then Bomber Cyberfunk did that, but also did that, and it did it new, and that's really good too. I go play Bomber Cyberfunk because it's really good, and it did what Jet Set Radio Future did, and it did it really good. That was basically about 25 minutes of that while I was colouring this guy in, and I didn't think that was worth keeping it. I was literally about to hit delete on the video, but then I thought, like, well, you know, I quite like this piece. It's actually coming out quite decent for what it is. So I might keep the video. Maybe I'll make it a speed funk, a cyber spunk. Speed funk, cyber spunk. That's pretty funny. I might keep it as a speed video, a speed lapse time funk, cyber time lapse funk, and put it in. Maybe you'll be watching it right now as I'm fucking babbling some more about that shit. In essence, I played Bomber Cyberfunk at my friend Sam's house. Liked it so much that I got home and spent money I really shouldn't have spent, and bought it for myself. Downloaded it on the old Exus Boxus, and because it's really fucking good. As somebody who is or was a gigantic fucking fan of Jet Set Radio Future, like I cannot. Literally can't count the amount of hours I've sunk into Jet Set Radio Future. It is easily my most played game ever of all time ever, because I just fucking love it. It's just has so much like heart and character and soul to it. It was so inventive and so fucking like fresh and new and just fun to play. I loved the music, the style, the characters, the graffiti, the make your own graffiti thing. I spent fucking hours on that thing just making my own graffiti, because it's got its own little like paint program, and you paint your own graffiti and then spray it around the city. Like, how is that not just the greatest fucking game ever? And you fight police, and there's gang warfare, and you know, me growing up in them streets, it's like home. It's, you know, gang warfare and shit. Oh fuck! Oh no, this gang's getting in with this gang, and we gotta stop them because otherwise our gang's gonna be outganged by the gang. Oh shit! You know, that's how gangs go. It's rough thug life. You know, thug life. It's the life I lead. Chains are fucking pain in the ass to draw. I hate them so much. I always draw them like blending into each other where they should. Just about a piece of shit. This is the worst chain I've ever drawn in my life. But never mind, eh? And then so Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is like Jet Set Radio Future again, but also more. I almost, don't want to call it like, because the words being used to describe it are like spiritual successor, or the sequel we never got, or whatever, those sorts of things. But that almost doesn't quite do it justice. It feels like a love letter to Jet Set Radio Future, because the big wigs down at Sega or fucking whoever decided in their infinite wisdom to, one, not make a new Jet Set Radio game, and two, to make Jet Set Radio the original Jet Set Radio / Jet Grind Radio, depending on your region, I guess, to make that available on like Xbox Marketplace and stuff, where you can buy it, not new, but like in new modern day, you can buy the original Jet Set Radio, but not Jet Set Radio Future for some fuck of a reason. You can't get it anywhere. You can only play it on like the original Xbox. And my original Xbox died several years ago, so I was unable to play the original, not the original, Jet Set Radio Future. Regardless of how much they tell you it's backwards compatible, it's fucking not. They're lying. They're full of lies, telling their fucking lies. Well, I couldn't get it anyway. And I had the disc that came with the Xbox with like the free version of it, but I also had the standalone disc of Jet Set Radio Future, and neither of them were backwards compatible. So don't tell me I should have had this disc or that disc, because it wasn't working either way. But I fucking love that game. It was my pride and joy for years and fucking years, was Jet Set Radio Future. And it was very, very sad that they thought not to do anything with it, to make a new one, to make it more available, or anything like that whatsoever at all. I think I've seen a couple of screenshots that may or may not be for a new Jet Set Radio game in development. So I can't really speak much on that, because that might amount to nothing, but it might end up being a thing. I don't know. But for now, it doesn't matter, because Bomb Rush Cyberpunk was made by some people in the Netherlands, and they set it in Amsterdam. I guess they're from Amsterdam, and they set the game in New Amsterdam, which is a nice take, because usually I think the place in Jet Set Radio Future is Tokyo To, like Neo Tokyo. You know, in animes and things, they have that sort of shit going on. And then so to have it in a place that's not that, that's fresh in itself, which is good. That's why I liked Jet Set Radio, because it was fresh. And then if you're just going to do the same shit Jet Set Radio did, then that's not fresh. That's stale and old hat and being done and boring and not worth doing at all. And there may even be parts of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk that you think are like that, where it's like, well, this is just Jet Set Radio, so why bother? You're just doing shit that's already been done, so why bother doing it at all? And then I say, because I've not like calculated this or really got like the numbers figured out, but it seems to me in playing, I have not even completed it, but I've played it a bunch in between, you know, actually working and shit. It seems to me that for everything Bomb Rush Cyberpunk does that is like parallel to or straight copied from Jet Set Radio Future, it also adds something new. For instance, like the levels are almost straight copies. You start in something Hill on Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and the first level in Jet Set Radio Future is Dogonzaka Hill. See, I know all that by heart because I fucking played it to death. And there's a bus terminal in both games, and then there's some dream sequences in Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which are basically like almost taken straight out of one of the last like boss fights in Jet Set Radio Future. And I may have accidentally said Jet Set Radio when I meant Bomb Rush, but you know, whatever. But for everything they do, they make it a bit new, and they've got like, they have the feels. Like if you showed me screenshots or video gameplay footage of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and I didn't know of it, I didn't know that it existed or that it was a thing, I would assume that it's a new Jet Set Radio game coming out, because it evokes that style like almost perfectly. It feels like Jet Set Radio Future again, which is good, because it would be easy to make it and fuck it up. But they didn't. They made it really, really good. I'm doing it again. I'm fucking babbling. I'm fucking babbling. But it really has captured the essence of Jet Set Radio Future, and made it fresh and new for this new, fresh age in which we live. The graffiti's been like, the graffiti system has been updated. You could only really paint like a few different pieces in Jet Set Radio Future, but this has got a whole new system with like a directional thing, like the original Jet Set Radio actually, but updated, and it feels new. You can not just skate but also skateboard and ride BMX, and that's new and cool. There's you can do more tricks, so that's one thing I was always bummed about actually playing Jet Set Radio Future, was that there were times where I wanted to play it and just like skate around the levels, but that was very, very limited in what you could do, because you could only like press one trick button to do a trick, and you just like spin and then spin the same way every time. Whereas Bomb Rush Cyberpunk has implemented several different buttons, so you can do several different kinds of tricks. So when you are skating around the levels, grinding, jumping, flipping, grabbing, twisting, bending, stretching, bop it, pull it, twist it, it feels a lot more sort of fun and fluid, and like you're actually skating around. You're not just moving, you're actually doing stuff, and it's fun. The movement feels good. The movement feels very, very similar to Jet Set Radio Future. It definitely still has that vibe, but there's been some like side-by-side comparisons where like the way the characters stand is straight up taken from Jet Set Radio Future, the way the characters jump and skate and stuff, but it's all new characters and it's somewhat new settings, and like I say, they've added in enough cool shit. They've added a phone. This is what this was going to be. This is the main character, Red, who's got a cybernetic head on his human body, and that's the thing as well. Is a lot of the pedestrians have them as well. That's just like a new thing, just in the game. Cybernetic heads are just like something that exists, which is cool, because it's like Jet Set Radio Future is, you know, sci-fi and futuristic, being called Jet Set Radio Future. And they have like these magnetronic boost skates and the futuristic cyberpunk kind of world that they live in. And then Bomb Rush Cyberpunk takes that and really runs with it. So they've got the skates and they've got the boost packs they wear, and then they've got these cybernetic heads that a bunch of people and pedestrians and characters have. And you still fight police and robots and tanks and stuff by spray painting them, and it's really fun. It's a really fun game, and if you are a fan of any of the Jet Set Radio series, then by all rights you'll love this game. But yeah, so this is Red with his red the robot head, and here is his index finger and his thumb, I guess, because he's on his phone. And this is a new thing they've implemented, where you get a flip phone, which is a bit old but kind of cool. I really like it because it has maps on it. You can get messages during the game with little hints that help you. It's got a camera, so you can like take photos of shit in the game. It doesn't look like there's a way to like send those photos to like an email address or something. I know on the Xbox it's possible to take screenshots, and if you're playing it on PC or whatever, you can do that. So there will be a way of saving those photos. For instance, there's a lot of like street, what do they call it? Street furniture, which Jet Set Radio Future did really well, where there's, you know, pedestrians just milling about, and then there's just like, you know, tables and street stalls and chairs and things, and those are all still there. You can just run into them and knock them over, and it's cool. But there's also like weird little robot statues outside shops, and like, you know, mascots in front of you know, fast food restaurants and those sorts of things, which Japan has that sort of stuff. But then this game takes that and like doesn't necessarily do more with it, but it feels like they've put a little bit more effort into having funny, silly little characters. You'll go into like a secret area, break through a window, go into a secret area, kick open a dumpster to get some like boost energy things, and then right next to you, in amongst the garbage, is just like a funny penguin statue with a little umbrella. And it's just little details like that just like don't need to be there, but it gives the game that much more character. And so I've been going around taking photos of all those funny little statues and characters and things. So it would be cool if I can find a way to get them off my fucking Xbox. And I know there's a simple way to do it. I just haven't put any effort into figuring that shit out at all, because I don't care. Well, I do care a little bit. Also, you can like flip the camera around, so you're going to be in selfie mode as you're skating around and doing all your shit. So you can take like selfies while you, I don't know, selfies, you know, it's very millennial Gen Z kind of thing, but it's a neat detail they put into the game. It's just like a little bit of extra shit going on. It's cool. It's cool. It's a lot less upbeat, I feel, than, well, not necessarily less upbeat, but I feel like I said to Sam, some of the music feels very sort of lo-fi hip-hop beats to study and relax to, because Jet Set Radio Future feels very like amped up and bombastic, whereas Bomb Rush Cyberfunk feels not necessarily like more sedated or like more chill necessarily, but it does feel a bit less grandiose. But it's cool. I like the vibe of it. I've already looked into like downloading a bunch of the music. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but some of this might have been in the babbling bit I cut out, so fuck it, whatever, shut up. It's really good. It's just a good game. Just play it if you're into it, or don't if you're not. I don't give a fuck. I don't care either way. It doesn't affect me. But this is the main character, Red. He's got a cybernetic head. I'm drawing him because I like the design. I also like the design of his head. It's just like a robot head with these lights on it, I guess, and then this big bit that comes out the back, and then this large chin bit that comes out the front. And I feel like a lot has gone into just designing shit that looks really cool, because a lot of it looks really fucking cool. Regardless of how ridiculously impractical it would be to have this massive thing sticking out the back of your head. Like if you walk around with a big backpack on or something, you turn around and you're knocking shit over. If you're in a shop and you're knocking over shelves and fucking shit and whatever, bumping into people, well, that's bad enough. But then if you've got this massive fucking thing sticking out the back of your head, it's just going everywhere. You know that's going fucking everywhere. It looks cool, but it's hardly fucking practical, is it? Did you know there's a new Hulk series, and some of the artwork is not just good, but frankly fucking fantastic? Oh, look at that shit! Fucking look at that shit! I love this as well because it's like big hulking, grand hulkity Hulk, and then he's got his little human arm because he's transforming. I've been thinking about picking these up recently anyway. Like I keep flicking through them, being like, "Oh, some of the art's really cool," but I don't know if I care to just look through the whole thing because like there's a lot of this of just like, which is why I never really got into the Hulk comics in general, because aside from all the cool Hulk action parts, there's all of these parts. Fucking, is it General Ross and his daughter, fucking Betty or whatever? And it's all, tension and anger. Oh, what are we going to do about the Hulk? Oh, we got to stop him. There's zombies in this one. That's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? I do like some zombies. There's also thousands of adverts, because apparently that's what... as if Disney don't have enough money to publish comics without fucking adverts in them. And I know it's all adverts for Marvel stuff, so it's not like back in the day when you'd get fucking candy, M&M's having adverts in the comics. Now it's all Universal and Marvel and Disney. But, like, just fucking don't. Just stop putting the goddamn advertisements in the comics. You don't need to do that now. You're owned by fucking Disney. Stop it. Fucking stop. If they weren't, comic on one side and then advert on the other, I'd tear them out. But then I'd be tearing out half the comics. So, fucking... And several people, several times, have sent me artwork from Nick Klein, is it? I'm not sure. I know I follow him on Instagram. I feel like I've seen him like my stuff on Instagram. Yeah, Nick Klein. I might be making it up, but I just, I'm in a position now where I go into a comic book shop and I can point out like a whole bunch of artists that I'm like, oh, they follow me on Instagram. They follow me on Instagram. They've like commented and sent me a message and stuff. And it's quite exciting for me. I don't mean to be like, oh, they follow me and they follow me because I'm such a big artist now that all of these other artists follow me and they look at my artwork and think, oh, how wonderful. I don't mean to be a fucking prick like that. It's exciting for me because it's new to me. To have, sort of like big name published, regularly published comic artists that I look up to and admire, to have them like either following figuratively or literally my work, and even maybe sometimes taking the time to say, hey, I really like your work, or this is fuck you, I'll fucking brag about it if I want. So I was looking for shit to, I need something to show during this centre segment of the podcast. And I thought, hey, what if the Hulk, because some of it is really cool, because that's cool. I could steal that for any number of comics. I'm sure I could steal some of it for Death Fist. Easily Gun Viking. He's even almost got Gun Viking-esque hair. So that's... no, that's fucking cool, though. That's really fucking cool. It's got double lighting, which we love to see. We liked that in Pit. Hulk fucking mashing up a bunch of zombies. It's fucking cool, man. This was on the shelf like this, and it's very rare that Forbidden Planet keeps like back issues, but they had these 3 issues, 1, 2 and 3, so I thought while they're all on the shelf together, I'll grab them up. Sadly, the one of this, I guess, is the only one they had left, was with this variant cover, which looks like it was maybe a sketch cover that they then printed as a variant cover, which, you know, not amazing, but it's kind of whatever, I guess. Oh shit, that's really fucking cool. It's coming out of a human face. Oh, and that's fucking amazing, actually. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to look at the art. Lots of double lighting. I really like the... Well, I guess it's rim lighting. It's almost double lighting. Whatever. Ooh, head turned backwards. And then claws coming out of the fingers. That's really nicely done there. And then, like... Is that the ribs and shit bursting open? And the face tearing open with the teeth coming out and then bursting out of the face. That's really fucking cool. That's a really cool little transformation scene. And then eating this guy with the human face still there. The hat popping. Oh, I did that. Almost the same. I'd not seen this issue before, so look, you know, I only say that because some people think I steal my shit from everywhere else, and I do often. I often steal, but I usually tell you where I steal it from, and I think because of that, I get very defensive, and I say, I didn't steal this one, this is my... I just think it's funny. Also, having the hat pop off, I'll do this 8 million more times, having the hat pop off is a trope. It's like a meme, isn't it? Someone gets hit or attacked and their hat pops off, their shoes pop off when they get hit by a car. That's an actual thing. I once saw a woman get hit by a car and her high heels went pew, which is, you know, hilarious. I thought it was anyway. Is this... Oh, there's a transformation scene where Nick Klein shared it on Instagram. He shared, I think, the script or notes from the author describing how the... transformations should look, and I think it was the script just describing like the panels and what should be in each one, and then it showed Nick Klein's sketches showing that that notes, and that's good. More body horror transformations, like his ribs almost coming out like claws. Really gorgeously drawn. Like that's a cool like kind of body anyway, but then like this stomach and the hip bones into the pelvis and the creases of flesh as his body like contorts backwards with his arms hanging down. Gorgeous ink work, nice double lighting by the colorist. Yeah, gorgeous ink work in general for all the creases in the clothing and the flesh and stuff. Really nice hands, and his body getting fucked up and then turning into the fuck you. I don't care about Fall of X. Fucking ugh. Stupid. Even if this was an advert for something I really enjoy, I'd hate it because it's a fucking... That's so cool. I might actually draw a bunch of these just as like fill up sketchbooks with copies of this sort of stuff. That's really fucking nice. That's just a fucking cool drawing. Pew. He's left his skin all like empty and flaccid on the ground, like a used sex doll. Like your mum. And then the Hulk. Ah, this is it. This is the exact transformation scene that the script was... Is this issue 1? Yeah, I didn't realise that was in issue 1. So it starts... Is he on the previous page? No. Or maybe he is. Is he? I don't know. Yeah, this... Oh, no. He's here. He's here. Pop, crack. Scare, crack, rip. His arm fucking bursting into a Hulk arm, and then he slams it on the ground, and the agents go, "Oh fuck no!" And then his teeth, like his face is going Hulk-like, and his teeth are fucking going. These Hulk teeth coming out from where his teeth are. His shoulder comes out his collarbone fucking protruding. Pop, crack, smack, snip. Mine, this body's mine. And then he's all hulkified. And it's a really good Hulk because he does look like bulbous and horrible instead of like tall and handsome. I fucking hate handsome Hulks. It's just so, he's ravaged by fucking radiation. He shouldn't be tall and handsome. He should be horrendous, monstrously mutated. Which this one is, you know, he has moments like this where he just looks like Hulk but with long hair. I like the long hair on Hulk as well. That's pretty neat, neat little doodly doodad, I guess. Leave me alone. Is he me? Oh, he's me for real, for real, for real. Really cool, just drawing. I love the shape. That's how I like to draw everyone. Gun Viking, my Hulk, fucking whatever. Just no visible neck, just body and then head fucking stuck on there. The hands are great. The foot escaping into the mist. The double lighting and which is done with the ink work, and then the colorist has obviously put in the two separate colors. But yeah, it's gorgeous ink work, leaving space for the double lighting is really, really nice. It's just really, really fucking good drawings. I'm glad I picked these up. I was a bit like about it, but now I'm actually looking at them. I'm really giving them the attention they deserve. Hear me, terrors of earth, all who hide from the sun within shadow and dream. Goblins, man thing, a hand coming out of the floor. The Hulk. A nice up shot of the Hulk looking down. That's cool. These sketches. Pretty decent sketches. Issue 2. That's really fucking cool. The cover. And then he wakes up like, what happened? I've got no idea. And my trousers aren't purple anymore. That's strange, isn't it? Oh, Sammy's dead. Poor fucking Sammy. Whoever the fuck that is. Cool zombies. Cool drawing. Cool double lighting. Good texture on that. It feels really like, it's got like maggots in its eyes and nose and stuff. Yeah. Talking. And I assume, it says here, Nick Klein, artist, and colours on pages 8 to 11. So I assume this is pages 8, 9, 10 and 11. Because it's done with like inks, so that would make sense. It's like ink or watercolour washes. So that would make sense that it's Nick Klein doing that himself, which is good. That's really, really good to see. It's almost like, I mean, there's plenty of artists that do it, but for instance, like a Sam Keith vibe, where he uses like paint and watercolours and inks and stuff on pages, mixed in with traditionally inked and coloured comic book pages. So it's really cool to see, especially if this is like a dream sequence or whatever. It does have a sort of a lighter, washier kind of feel to it. So if it is a dream, that'd make sense. It might be a dream, it might not, but I won't know because I'm not going to read it and find out. Zombies, we like those. I like that they're mostly like they look like corpses that have like come out of the ground after rotting away for a long time, because they're basically skeletal. Just with like the most minuscule amount of flesh still hanging on their bones. It's almost a shame, but like, because the double lighting is cool, but the black and white drawing of this is fucking gorgeous. I saw that online way before I saw any of the actual comic. I guess Nick, you know, I call him Nick because, you know, we're peers. We both go off into the ocean and boats go near us. Mr. Klein, I assume uploaded, or it was probably on like Felix Comic Art or one of those pages, the black and white drawing of this, and it's just so fucking good. Like, it looks cool in colour, but as a black and white drawing, it's really, really, really fucking nice. And I like him bursting. He's got his human arm and leg, and he's bursting out of his clothes, and he's all fucking warped and contorted. It looks very similar to like the warp spasm in Slain. So that's cool too. Oh, John Romita died this year. Poor dead fucker. Hey, I copied one of his Green Goblins recently. Thank you for having art that I can copy for my own benefit. Excuse and me. That's really, 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 really cool. I've tried to do similar things like that with Gun Viking, and I really don't feel like I've sort of captured what I was necessarily going for. But this guy, I mean, I don't know how long Nick Klein's been in the game. Long enough that his work is as fucking phenomenal as it is. What I want to do is sit down with people like Nick Klein with this comic and open it in front of him and go, right, point out to me all the bits you think are shit. Because I know, there might be some, full pages. He's like, no, I was really happy with this page and this page, this page and this page. But then this is just like, oh, I should have changed this or that, or made these panels a bit different, or drawn this a different way. I want to know those bits, because I have many, many pieces of work that other people think are perfect, obviously. But all I can do is look at them and go, this is shit. That's the hand's wrong. The eye's too big on that. And this is a bit balls. And so I assume it's the same for them as well. They put out the work they have to do as a job. But there's got to be large parts of it that they're just not happy with. And I'd really like to talk to them about that. Because that's one of those things that's like, whenever artists are interviewed, it's always the same fucking boring. How did you first get into art? What was your first published job? What advice can you give to young artists that are trying to break into the industry? Just fucking shut up! I want to know about the real stuff, the things about being an artist, like that everyone deals with, but no one really talks about. So, like when professionals do work like this, that I can look at and go, this is fucking phenomenal. These cosmic horrors, holy shit. That's fucking incredible. This comic should be published at this size at least. Each page should be like twice the size for what it is. Just Hulk comics in general probably, but stuff like this should be shown way bigger, just to really sort of get the impact of the size and the drawing that's gone into it. It's fucking tentacles and teeth and eyes and oh shit, all these fingers. The Hulk is this big and this thing's fucking... Leave me alone. Psst. Fatum. Fine. Fine. I like that. Hulk's just like, ugh, fine, I'll fight you. Piece of shit. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's that real shit that artists go through that I want to hear about. Even if you don't necessarily gain new information, just knowing that like big name professional artists who've been in the industry for decades still go through that shit of like finishing a piece and going, oh, I'm not happy with it, but it's deadline, so I've got to send it off. And then, having them tell you like, this bit I would have changed and that bit I would have changed. It's important to know, because it's important to know that if you're trying to get into an industry like comic books, I don't consider myself to be in the industry. I think I've got like a foot in the industry, just about, kind of. But even getting that far, I had to keep in mind that like I'm not going to be at the level of my idols, and I don't have to be, because not everyone is their level. But you don't have to achieve your best work every time. You just have to do the work, and that's what's important. And I think hearing that sort of thing from big name professional artists in the game would be important. If you don't get information necessarily, or like literal information on this is how to produce a comic book, just hearing things like, I'm not at the best level I want to be, I'm not as good as my idols or whatever, but I still try my best and do what I can anyway. Hearing shit like that's important. You fat dildo. I'm kind of torn between there being not a lot more I can say about Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and also there being so much more I could say about Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Because ultimately, like, it picked up really well where Jet Set Radio Future left off. And it definitely, absolutely fills the hole left by Jet Set Radio Future. But then at the same time, I could literally sit here and talk probably for hours about like every aspect of. Oh, that was a harsh cough. That's the sort of shit like you do. You sit at home and you go, and you don't really think anything of it because you're just trying to fucking clear your body of all this shit inside of it. But then if you're recording a video and you start going, you don't really think about it. And then, for instance, I've done that and then watched a video back, or like when I've been editing a video or whatever, and I've gone, Jesus Christ, I can keep it off camera, dude. The fuck is wrong with you? But I probably could talk at length for quite some time about like specific aspects of Bomber Cyberpunk and why it's good. And let me think now if there's anything I dislike about there. So, this is a very, very like technical like gameplay thing. Me and Sam both had the same thought almost the same time. It would be really good to have like Skate 3 style session markers, or like a quick save, quick load feature, because there are times where like you've got to skate your way up a tower, with all these fucking like intricate rails and upside down rails and whatever and jumps, and if you miss a platform and you fall off and you fall to the ground, you're like, oh, I've got to start again, right? Okay, ooh. And maybe that's just part of the game, but as someone who's been playing games for fucking decades, it gets to a point where you're like, I don't want to just repeat the same shit. I just want to get through the game. It would be useful to have, like, you get to a point in the tower and you put a session marker, so that's where you start from now. Like, you know, checkpoint, those sorts of things. But then that's like such a minimal. That's one of the only complaints I have about the game, is sometimes you've got to do things a couple of times to like actually do. So basically, I just need to get better at playing games and not fall off the fucking towers I'm trying to skate my way up. It's Jet Set Radio Future. If you're skating really, really fast and then you pull back on the stick, you like skid to a halt. But in Bomber Cyberpunk, you just start skating backwards if you do that, and that's a little bit of a jarring sort of thing where it's like, oh, quick stop, and then you think you're stopping, but then you're skating backwards, and it's like, ah, fuck, because that can put you in a bad position sometimes. That can put you off the edge of a fucking building sometimes. But that's it. The things I would change about Bomber Cyberpunk are like so minuscule and almost meaningless that it's not even worth fucking talking about, so I'll just shut up now. It's you know, I can't really remember a time or the last time where I actually bought and paid for a brand new game and sat down to play it. The newest game I had was Fallout 76, which I've gone on about at length, obviously. But even that, I didn't get that until a few years after it had come out. And a few years after, evidently, they'd made it better than it originally was. Because apparently it was shit when it first came out. Apparently there were 0 NPCs in the game when it first came out, which just seems so bizarre to me. Just a fucking empty land, which is a post-apocalypse, so sure, I get it. But if you're playing a game and there's only a handful of people online playing it with you, and they're so spread out, it's like there's just fucking no one. But that's sort of, I'm kind of late to the game and things in general. I think like Dead Rising, maybe Dead Rising 2 I got when it was new, and like the skate games, and then before that it was like Tony Hawk's. I'd get a new Tony Hawk's game when it just Tony Hawk's Underground 2 when they first came out. So it's been fucking years and years since I like bought a new game when it's new to play it. And Bomber Rush Cyberpunk has been that, and it makes perfect sense that it's Bomber Rush Cyberpunk because it's the Jet Set Radio the new Jet Set Radio of our generation, as if I'm actually part of this generation, of this latest generation, and it's really fucking good, and I'm glad to have been able to be here while it's here. God, imagine that. What if I killed myself, as I've wanted to many times over the years, and then like just after I did it, I'm looking, I was going to say down from heaven, as if I'm getting there, Up From Hell or whatever, and I see they put out this game, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and it's like the new generation of Jet Set Radio games, and I'm just like, fuck, god damn it! If I'd waited 2 days, if I didn't fucking hang myself, 2 days, I could have played this goddamn game. So I guess, if nothing else, I'm glad for that. I'm glad I'm alive currently to experience this game that I'm not going to be like, oh, it's the best game ever and there's so much enjoyment out of it. But it's new and I am enjoying it. And, you know, enjoyable things in life can be very few and far between and difficult to come across. Unlike your mum, who everyone has come across multiple times because she is a massive, massive whore. That would have been a perfect time to end the podcast, but it's only like a few minutes into the third quarter, the third half. His other hand should be here, but it will look silly if I draw it in now, so I won't. And so now that's not the end of the podcast, so I've got to just carry on fucking talking and shit. I've got Google Images open at the moment with Bomb Rush Cyberpunk stuff. I do like that you can skateboard and BMX in Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Those are quite cool, like, things that you can do. It's not just skating, and you can run around as well, which is cool. You can run around, you can hop on your. And I like the way the skates like come out of your shoes and then you skate around. That's really good because the skates just come out of your shoes and then go back into your shoes with like a little animation. But then the skateboard and the BMX just appear out of nowhere and then disappear when you're not using them, which is, you know, it's a little bit silly. It's cool that you can BMX and skateboard. And I guess this is another point to the games, in the game's favour, is there's loads and loads of like secret stuff because you can paint so many more different pieces of graffiti. There's a lot of like pieces of graffiti to unlock. And you can find them dotted around the place. There's different clothings to unlock, different skins for your characters. There's different, I guess, skins for skateboards, BMXs, and rollerblades as well to unlock. I think different tracks, like musical tracks and stuff. There's a whole bunch of shit to unlock around the cities, which is really, really cool. That was going somewhere. It's cool that you can skateboard and BMX. And there's all these things. However, I've got snot dripping out of my face. And as I just said, I don't want to sit here going, or do I? But for me, it doesn't feel quite as Jet Set Radio if I'm skateboarding around or BMXing around. Which maybe it shouldn't. Maybe you should skateboard and BMX, and then it will feel like a whole new game. But I'm playing it on the basis of it feeling like a Jet Set Radio game, and so that's what I want to do. So for me, it's roller skates only, just so it can be as Jet Set Radio future as possible. These are just a couple of little rough, sketchy sketches I did prior to the podcast. I won't give any spoilers. There is a reason for the main character, Red, as he's... What the fuck is that? As he's known. A reason for him having a cybernetic head. I think they use the term cybernetic as well, or maybe just cyber. Maybe a robot, I don't fucking know. But the reason for him having that head is sort of given very early in the game. But even so, you know, if I just say it now, that might be a spoiler. If I just tell you that the main character gets decapitated very early on in the game, and then he gets given another chance at life with a robot head, and he's got to track down his human head. If I just tell you that, then, you know, that's a pretty big spoiler. So I won't. Oh, tee-hee. Chances are, if you are watching this, you either have already played it or don't really care to play it. And me saying it's really good, you should go play it, probably won't change any of that. And so my spoilers aren't really spoilers. Or maybe they are. Maybe I have literally just fucking ruined the game for you by spoilering it. In which case, suck a dick, dumb shits. In the immaculately put words of Sarah Lynn from BoJack Horseman. Suck a dick, dumb shits. God damn it, that would be another perfect place to fucking end the episode, but I've got to just keep going and going. Is there anything else I can do instead of just fucking sitting here babbling like a cunt? If you caught this video because it had something relating to Bomb Rush Cyberpunk and you were like, oh, let's see what this person's saying about Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, my apologies. Clearly this is not one of those videos that's actually like worth listening to. Although that said, I have watched a few like reviews of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and quite a few of them are by people who evidently haven't played Jet Set Radio Future. Like they open the video up saying shit like, oh, apparently this is, you know, there was a game called Jet Set Radio and this is based on that. And a couple of them literally say, oh, this is based on Jet Set Radio, but don't mention Jet Set Radio Future and only show like images and videos of Jet Set Radio. And it's like, no. Like, yeah, it's based on Jet Set Radio, but only in so much as it's based on Jet Set Radio Future, which came after Jet Set Radio, because it's almost a perfect analogue of, if that's the right word, of Jet Set Radio Future in terms of level design and character design and movement and gameplay, and just every aspect of it is like almost duplicated from Jet Set Radio Future. So if you're gonna review it, you should know Jet Set Radio Future beforehand. I'm not saying you should have thoroughly played through Jet Set Radio Future 100 million times and unlocked all the characters and painted all the graffiti and fucking obsessed over it for years and years and years. But you should fucking have looked into it. You should know about it. Surely. As far as that goes, it's my dumb fucking take on that thing, I suppose. So if nothing else, I can give you that. I can give a genuine sort of talking about it and comparison coming from a place of somebody who thoroughly loved Jet Set Radio Future. It's not just like, oh, apparently it's based on this game, which is supposed to be quite cool and trendy. It's like, nah, it is based heavily on that game, and here's why. If I cared at all enough about anything ever, I could, probably put together a decent video of like an actual review with videos and screenshots and all kinds of shit. But these days I don't have the energy for that kind of shit these days. So all the ideas I've had for videos and shit over the years are just like, nah. Nah. And I say that, I won't get too deep, but like, I don't have the energy to take care of myself very well these days. So I'm not about to expend the energy it takes to make a fucking full long form video review of a game, even though I do really, really like the game and I'm really glad it exists. That got a bit sad, didn't it? That was not my intention, but it's life, innit? Wasn't my intention to be miserable, in my later years. But hey, these things happen. I really like the design. I think it's a really interesting design and vibe to the characters. Like if you tasked me with designing a new fucking Jet Set Radio game, I almost certainly couldn't do as good a job as these people who've made Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I think they've done it perfectly. Let me at least fucking look up the people who made it. I spend so much time going, oh, the people who the fuck did it? Team Reptile, evidently, which I believe come from Amsterdam. So good on them. It's really good. Jesus Christ, can I fucking finish this now? It's oh fucking hell. Shut up. Repeating myself. We started with, I was just babbling, so I decided to cut that out and then re-record it. Nothing's changed. I'm just doing the same shit now. Again and again. Forever and ever. Until I die.